Hello students, this is my first video for the Java programming for ICSE, and within 20 days you will be able to master the Java programming. So we start the programming lesson, but before that please subscribe my channel and press subscribe button, and don't forget to press the bell icon also for the notifications of new videos. Students, when we see this line that write the Java program, immediately you have to think about a word class. That means you are going to design a class. Alright. After that, if we talk about a class, then we have to think about what will be the name of the class. Alright. So that means, suppose this is my first class. So I will write first C or first CL, suppose I write. So this is the name of the class. So let me tell you, this is name of the class, and in terms of token it will be known as identifier for the class. So two things I have told you. This is the first thing, that is the class. The second thing, the name of the class. Alright. Remember, whenever you write name of the class, so that must not be a keyword. Suppose somebody writes class for. This is wrong, because for is a keyword. Alright. Now suppose I write class 1 class. This is also wrong, because begins with a number. So identifier must not be a keyword, and it must not begin with a number. After that, we have got class. Suppose I have written first class. Here you can see some mark is there in between. This is also wrong. Identifier, what you've written is perfect, because in between the name there is an underscore. There is not a problem. After that, I write class first space class. Now this is also wrong, because this contains a space. So correct way of writing a class identifier or class name is, suppose I have written here my underscore class. So you can see that I have written my, there is not a keyword, there is not a digit also, there is no digit in the beginning, there is no space in between, this is underscore, and after that also I have got a word class, but it's a keyword, but it is mixed with my, so it is perfect. Alright. One advice, that whenever you design a class, always try to write in small letters. Class is a keyword which is always in the small letter, but for identifier also I will suggest that use small letters. And while typing a program on the system also, keep the caps lock off, because if you have got this habit of writing things in small letters, so when you are revising your program, it won't take much time and there will not be any confusion regarding the identifiers. Java is a case sensitive language, so small capital are always taken as different letters. Alright. Now students, you have the clear idea of how to write the class header. So class name we have to write. After that, we have to think about where to begin and where to end the class. So these two curly braces are given for that. So suppose I have to write a class named student. So what I need to write, class student, curly brace open, curly brace closed. Then we take some more classes. Suppose class employee, class fruit, class furniture, class car. And please, using the same format which I use for class student, design, employee, furniture, fruit and car. So you'll be having a sense that how to write the class header and how to open the curly brace and how to close. After that, I am going to talk about the very important part, that is what is there inside the class. So to understand this thing, we need to think about the concept of encapsulation. We need to think about encapsulation. When we talk about encapsulation, encapsulation says wrapping up of what? Data, member and member function. Technically, they are known as data members and member function, and according to the encapsulation or in the object oriented programming terminology, data members are basically way to implement the attributes, and member functions are there to implement the behavior. When we combine these two things, we get a unit or an entity called class. Alright, so what you are going to do here, you are going to design a class. Why? Because you are writing a Java program. And then where to begin, where to close? Through the opening curly brace we begin the class definition, and when we close the curly brace, that means that is the end of the class definition. Now what is there inside the class? That is the real stuff. What is there inside the class? Inside the class we have data members and attribute. This is data members or attributes plus member functions, that means behavior. One more thing I want to tell you, when we talk about the programming, we always think about that the logic of the program. So let me tell you one very interesting thing, that these member functions are there to store the logic of the program or the Java program. And data members is all about data. Alright, and if you are able to understand data and logic perfectly, that means you are a perfect programmer. So students, you may see here that we have got data members and member functions, and every class contains data members and member functions. First we'll talk about data members. When we talk about data members, so we need to understand that data members are there to represent the attributes of a class. First question comes to our mind, that where to store the data. There are two things, variable and the constant. We have got some other ways also of storing the data, but right now we have to understand variable and constant first. When we talk about variable, we'll say it is a name memory location, and variable can change its value during the program execution. Then we talk about the constant. Constant is also a named memory location, but constant does not change its value during the program execution. Alright, because variable, as its name suggests, vary. So which may vary, So that name is because of that, because its value can be changed during the program execution. After that, we need to talk about how to declare a variable, because Java is a strongly typed language. Before using anything, you need to declare it first. So we'll declare a variable. Declaration of a variable means first we'll write data type, variable name, semicolon. What is data type? Data type is basically the type of data the variable can hold. Variable is nothing but identifier. As we have used the name of the class, similarly variable name is also there. So variable, similarly like a class or any other identifier, cannot be a keyword. It cannot begin with a digit. There should not be any space between. You do not use any arithmetic operator or any other operator within the variable name, right? So we need to take care of that while declaring a variable. Now, constant. All the things are same, data type there, data type in the variable also. But this is a variable, this is a constant. But the most important difference is that final keyword is there. Final keyword is there which makes it a constant, which declares, which tells the compiler that this is what? A constant. Now students, we know how to declare a variable and a constant. Now we need to discuss the data types in Java. So students, when we talk about the data types in Java, we have got two types, primitive and non-primitive data types. In the primitive data types, we have integer family, we have got floating point type, we have got a data type for the character, we have data type for the Boolean. Now what are these data types? The integer family has got byte, short, int, long. Very frequently we use for the integers int and long. Alright. In the floating point type, we have got float and double. For the char side, we have got a single data type, that is char. For the Boolean one, again a single data type, that is Boolean. Now you will notice all these data types are in small letters. All the data types are in small letters. These are primitive data types. Java is case sensitive language, so please take care of the cases of the data types. Now we talk about the non-primitive. In the non-primitive, we have class, you are aware of that, interface, and array. Alright. So these are the data types. Now through different programs we will understand how to use all these data types with different variables, right? And whenever they are required, we will discuss these data types. Now after this, you need to understand how to work with these data types using different types of variables. Now students, I want to discuss a very important data type, that is a string data type. This data type belongs to a non-primitive data type category as it is a class. It is used to declare a variable or a constant to store a string literal. Now what is a string literal? A string literal is a group of characters or a sequence of characters. Example, a string name equals to Nishchay Ajmani, means Nishchay Ajmani is here the string literal, the value for the variable name, and its data type is a string. Alright. Now students, we have got certain literals in front of us, like A is there in single quotes, double quotes A, capital A, and that 14 is there. Then we have got 155.5 F is written, then true without any double quotes, then true with the double quotes. So we have to decide what type of literals these are and what is a suitable data type for the variables which are going to hold these literals. So here you can see that capital A in single quotes, single character is there, so cat data type is there for that. Then we move to the second one, that is again a single character, but it is specified in the double quotes, so it will be the string literal. So the data type will be the string. Single quote, even a single quote, single character, cat data type is a suitable data type for this. Then double quotes, single character, even then it will be the string literal, so string is a suitable data type. And then 14 is an integer, so int is a suitable data type. Various other options are also there, byte, short, long, but int is fine. Most of the time we use int or long for the much bigger values. And now I'm moving to 155.5 F. So there is F is there, so that is a floating point literal, and F is there, that's why the data type will not be double, it will be float. Then we have got true without any quotes. So when no quotes are there in sequence of characters and it is true, so it will be the boolean type. So boolean literal is there and the data type will be boolean. Alright, so after that we have got true in double quotes, so it is a sequence of characters or group of characters in double quotes, so it will be a string type. And after that there is another one, that is a name of someone, that is Manikant Mishra, so it is in double quotes and it's a string literal and data type is string. Here 14.5, no F is there, so it is a floating point, but a suitable data type will be a double. Now students, we have got here syntax for variable declaration and initialization. If any variable is to be declared and initialized, we need to write first its data type, means what kind of data a variable can hold, then variable name, then assignment operator, literal, or the value. Alright, so literal and value are actually the same thing, and terminate the statement by a semicolon. After that we have got examples. Suppose I want to store single character in single quotes, that is, so character literal, so I'll declare a char. Any name can be there, so following the naming rules. So char grade is there, assignment operator, and A will be assigned to grade. Then string S, double quotes A, will be assigned to S, that is of string type. Then we have got int roll number, then equal to 14, terminated by a semicolon, boolean r equal to true, then string S1 equals to true, double quote, so that is a string literal assigned to a string variable, and then you have got double P equal to 14.5, long F equals to 5,45,000. So bigger ranges are always stored using the long. I'm talking about the integer, bigger integer values. All right, so please practice all these examples again and again, so that you are very clear about that how to declare and store the data into a variable, right? And remember, this is the static initialization of the variable. Dynamic initialization means giving the value to a variable during the runtime, will be in the next videos. All right, now students, printing through Java program, we have got two statements in front of us. One is system.out.println, the other is system.out.print. all right, so any of these can be used, but before that we need to understand what is the system, what is out, and what is println. So let me tell you, system is a class, out is an object, println is a function. So you will see that it's quite interesting that all the major concepts of Java are covered in one statement. All right, now just see a class definition over here. You can see public is written, final, class, and system is written. So system is a class which you have used over here in the system.out.println statement. You can see that class is public, right? So that means it is accessible. It's a global access it has got, and final keyword makes this class a class which cannot be inherited. Alright, so final is a keyword. All these concepts will be discussed in detail later, but a brief introduction just now for the sake of clarity in your mind. Now class, definitely system is a class, so it is denoting that you are having a definition of the class over here, class system. Then you can see the static print stream out. So out is actually a field inside the system class, but out is actually an object of class print stream. All right, it's a static type, right? Then you can see that static print stream er is also there, static print stream in is also there. So these things will be quite helpful when you will move ahead with the ERR object or er object or in object later. Now what is there inside the in the class print stream? So print stream, you can see that it's written public, so public access is there for this class print stream. Extends means it is inheriting from some other class, so that class's filter output stream class is there, and then curly brace open, that means definition of the print stream begins from here, and inside this you can see a member function is here, println. Other parts are also there, but that's not required as of now, so you need to focus upon this only. So I think you can understand it pretty well, that system is a class which is of final type, so it cannot be inherited any further, but inside that there is an object out which is of print stream class, and there is a function println which belongs again to the print stream class. So system.out.println parenthesis semicolon. So whatever you specify within this parenthesis means whatever the arguments you pass through this, that will be printed on the screen, right? And println has got a new line associated with that, so whatever statement of print statement will appear after this statement again, so that will be that output will appear on the next line. So that will be explained just now. Now students, here with these examples you can understand better that how the printing in Java works using this system.out.print and system.out.println statement. So first we will observe system.out.print statement. So here you can see that it has got system.out.print how, then the same statement r is there, then another statement with you, and you can see that output is how are you without any space and in the same line. Now system.out.println how are in double quotes, and then system.out.println you in double quotes. So you can see the output that how are appears in the first line, and due to new line effect or new line character, so it is means the second print statements u appears in the next line. Similarly, we will see here system.out.println 3 times. First one has got how, second has got r, third has got u. Now the output how is in one line, r in the second line, and u is in the third line. Then system.out.print how backslash n r backslash n u. This is basically, this backslash n is a escape sequence and it's a non-printable character. It will never be printed on the screen, but it will give its effect. Which effect? That's the new line. That means how will appear in the first line, r will go to the next line and u will go in the third line. So that means you are having print this statement, but still it is giving the output in the next line, three different things in different three lines. So that means this is the effect of escape sequence, not of the print. Print is only there to print. Alright, now system.out.println, how in double quotes plus double quotes backslash n plus r plus backslash n plus u. That means all these things are going to be printed, but new line character or the escape sequence is there. So now it is written in a different way. Instead of having in one complete statement, it is written separately in double quotes. So that is also another way of writing it. So again the output will be same as it was the previous one. Then you have the int rno, means one integer variable rno, which is having the value 5. Now how to print that integer, that variable that is stored? So now system.out.println roll number is plus rno. So roll number is will be printed on the screen, and then plus rno, means rno is not written in the double quotes. So that means rno's value will be printed, and actually we want the rno's value to be printed because the roll number is 5, we want to be printed. The moment you will write roll number is rno in double quotes, means rno is also in the double quotes, then the 5 will not be printed, it will give the output roll number is 5. And then we have got output roll number is 5. So either you write in this statement system.out.print or you write system.out.println, it will be giving the same output. I hope everybody has got the clear idea of this. Students, as I've told you that every Java class consists of data members and the member function. Data part which we have discussed just now. But now we have to discuss the function. We have to understand the functions, and the most important function in any Java program is the main function. Why it is so important? Because Java virtual machine or JVM looks for as it is the starting point of the Java program. Alright, now some other things are also associated with this, some keywords like public, static, void. Main is the name of the function, it's an identifier. Alright, so string args is also there as the parameters inside the parenthesis. In very short, I want you to understand the concept of function. Function is basically a module which contains certain executable statements, and if I want to I want to make it more clear by saying that it contains the logic of the program. So in the beginning you will only work with one function at a time. Right, public static void mean public makes it simply globally available. Alright, and maximum accessibility because of the public access specifier. Static makes it associated with the class only, it becomes a class method. So when the JVM invokes it, it doesn't need to make the object of the class where it has been defined. Alright, void means function returns nothing, and it is required to be void because the moment means program execution begins, it begins with the main, and when the curly brace of the main is closed, program is over. So there is no need of returning anything. And there is a string args, that is just an argument, and then square bracket is there, that means it's an array of a string type. So all these topics are advanced, which will be discussed later, but few points I want to read out for you. A very important function as Java virtual machine looks for as the starting point of the Java program. Public is an access specifier that makes it available outside the class, makes it accessible globally, and that is why JVM can invoke it from the outside the class as it is not present in the current class. Then static is there. Because of this, JVM does not need to create the object of the class. This is called instantiation, and to call the main method. Then void is there. It is used to specify that method does not return anything. Main is the identifier or the name of the method. String args, command line arguments they are called. Alright, I hope everybody has got the clear idea of the main method now. Now students, after learning the class fundamentals and then data members, then main function, we are going to implement the entire knowledge into this very first program, and it's a very popular application. Generally we begin all the programming languages learning with this application. Hello world, we have to print the string hello world on the screen. How we can do this using the Java? So it's here in front of you. So first thing, write a program in Java. That means immediately we jump to the word that is class. So it's written class over there in the solution, you can see. Then after that it is class intro is there. Intro is the name I have chosen for this. It's just an introduction to the programming, the very first program. And then curly brace begins. That means the beginning of the class definition or the beginning of the Java program. And then we have got the public static void main string args. Main is the function which Java virtual machine looks for to begin the execution of the Java program. And then after that, curly brace of the function, because that shows the beginning of the definition of the function. And then we have got system.out.println hello world. Hello world is the string with within the double quotes and parenthesis semicolon. And now this is the closing of the main function and then the closing of the class. So here I write the closing of the class. Alright, so this is a way of writing the comment also with the program, just to make people understand what you are actually doing. So it's a small example I have given for the comment. It's a way of writing single line comment, and whatever you write after this symbol of single line comment, it is always ignored by the compiler. I hope everybody has understood it well, that how to go about Java programming. This was your first lesson, and we'll move ahead with the other concepts in the next video. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe my channel for more videos.